Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sherry and today we're here to talk about and make homemade vanilla extract. Boy, if you've been in the store recently to buy extract, you have put out a chunk of change because pure vanilla extract is expensive. And there's a reason behind that. And that's one of the things we're going to discuss today. We're also going to discuss how to make it. We're going to discuss the ingredients involved. We're going to say, is it worth making homemade or is it easier just to buy it off the shelf? We're going to just discuss quite a few things, starting with the history of the vanilla. So the first recorded usage of vanilla is from pre-Columbian Mayas, where they had a drink that they used the vanilla and cocoa in it with spices, and they drink it. But then that they were before the Aztecs. Then I think most people know about the Aztecs, that they had a drink that they called chocolate, and it had vanilla in it too. So that's the first recorded. But in 1519, when the Spanish came over and started their conquest, they took this vanilla vine back to Europe with them. And it was actually cultivated in France and England. However, the growers were stumped. They couldn't get it to produce any of the pods that they needed to make the vanilla. They had no idea what was up. It wasn't until the 19th century when a botanist found out that there was one bee that pollinated the vanilla flower. And that bee was only located where the vanilla bean originated. So they were growing it, but not producing anything. But then in the 19th century, an enslaved boy by the name of Esmond, he figured out how to hand pollinate the vanilla bean. And from there, the vanilla bean just went crazy. And now it's in everything, and we all love it so much. It's actually called the Queen of Spices. I'll talk about that in just a second. We're going to talk about the cost of vanilla. Vanilla is only second to saffron. Saffron is called the king of spices. Vanilla is the queen. And there's a reason why it is so expensive, and we're going to discuss those reasons. The first reason of its expense is that it is like asparagus. You plant it, you take care of it, you nurture it for at least 3 years before you get anything from it. That's when you maybe will start seeing the first flowers blooming and where you can pollinate it and maybe get some beans. So 3 years, it's an investment in time. And then after that, if it's not grown in the area where the bee is, you have to hand pollinate each little flower. Speaking of the flower, it only blooms for a 24-hour period. So if you miss that bloom, you've missed your season. If you're like me, I want to get a vanilla plant, but if I miss that bloom, then I'm going to be out for until the next year. Beans are harvested, but then they're sorted and graded, and we'll talk about the grades further down in the video. They're blanched then to stop the fermentation. They are sweated for 36 to 48 hours. Then they're alternated between sun drying and sweating at night. And that could take 5 to 15 days, depending on the bean. After that, they're moved indoors, which could last for 30 days. And so they could dry a little bit more. So 30 days of drying on top of that. Then they're sent out to process, however you're going to process them. They're going to sell the beans to wholesalers and then send them off to people who make the extracts, whatever they do. So it is about a year-long progress to get this made. And 5 to 7 pounds of green vanilla beans make 1 pound of dried vanilla beans. I do have my notes here, so I won't miss anything, so pardon my flipping. Now, another reason is a few years back, there was a typhoon. It destroyed some of the farms, and they had to rebuild some of it. So I think there was a spike at that time, and I don't really think it's come down from that spike. So, it is what it is. Price difference. First off, when you see recipes, you see a variety of recipes. Some call for 3 beans per 8 ounce of liquid. Some call for 5 to 6 beans per 8 ounce of liquid, and so on and so on. You get a variety. So you have to choose what you want to do, what your budget will allow you to do, because vanilla beans are pricey. So today, since we're talking about price differences, I went in. Today is June 29th, 2020, and I went on to Amazon, and 5 Madagascar Grade B vanilla beans are $14.99, $15. If you have Prime, no shipping costs, so $15. If you go into and look for vanilla extracts, 8 ounce, you come up first, of course, with McCormick. It is worldwide. Everybody knows McCormick. It makes more than probably any other vanilla company. It's $19.98 for 8 ounces, so right at $20 to get an 8 ounce bottle of pure vanilla extract, and that's how it's labeled. This is all natural, pure extract, 8 ounces, $19.98, $20. Now you get into some specialties like Nelson and Macy, $37.95, and a Bickford, $36.99. So that is a big healthy chunk of change right there. But for $14.99, that's just the beans. You still have to buy the alcohol that you're going to use to extract the flavors. So if you spend $5, you're right there even with going and picking it off the shelf or having Amazon ship it to you. So is it worth it? Well, we're going to get into that. If you don't want to spend that amount of money, you can, of course, buy imitation vanilla. It is not made out of vanilla. It's made out of other things made to simulate vanilla. And don't let people snub you and say, oh, I only use the best extracts. I never would use imitation. Because less than 1%, I'm going to read this so I can get it right. Less than 1% of the total global market in vanilla flavor is actually sourced from the vanilla bean. So it's less than 1% globally that probably use pure vanilla extract. So don't feel like, you have to use pure vanilla extract. Imitation extracts, if that's where you're at, that's where you need to be, then you use it. And don't let nobody tell you that you're not baking as well as them. I remember when I had 3 kids at home, my husband was the only one working, and we had to make chocolate chip cookies for a school function. I was not spending that much money on pure vanilla. I bought imitation vanilla. And that's one of the reasons that I stepped in and started making my own vanilla, because I wanted pure vanilla, but I didn't want to spend that money all the time. So is it worth it? Well, what you get when you make your own is a perpetual jar of vanilla. This is Mother Jugs, and she has been going since, I want to say, 2016. So when you're through with that little 8 ounce McCormick bottle, you toss it, you go back to the store, and you spend $20 more. Well, when I'm through with 8 ounces of my vanilla, I top it off, put another vanilla bean in it, and I'm good to go. And we'll talk about all of that, what I do, in just a little bit. So is it worth it? If you have the time and you have the desire, in my opinion, it is worth it to make a jar of vanilla. It's going to be nice. It's going to be good, great, as good as any of the vanilla out there. So to me, it is very much worth it. Now, the vanilla bean. Here is my vanilla beans. I'm going to cut it open so I can show one. They come in a sealed package because they should be very moist and flexible. And yank one of those bad boys out. Isn't she a beauty? Let me get it closer. Flexible, bendable. They usually have a hook on there. They can be anywhere from 5, 6. Oh my God, it smells so good. 5, 6 to 7 inches long. So this is how they come. There are many types of vanilla beans, okay? Once again, I'm going to refer to my notes because I want to get this right. And every vanilla bean, every type of vanilla bean, or let's say where it's grown at, has a different flavor. So I'm going to tell you about those. Madagascar has a rich, creamy flavor. The Mexican bean has a bold, dark, smoky. The Indian bean has a full chocolate flavor. The Indonesian is a mild and well-balanced. And the Tahitian is a floral cherry chocolate flavor. Now, I tried all those beans. I'm taking that from a bean expert. I went to their webpage and looked it up. Now, the top 3 beans made for extracts are Madagascar, Tahitian, and Mexican, okay? Madagascar, which is the one that I use, Madagascar, it has the most vanillin flavor in it. And vanillin is the compound that's in the vanilla beans. And so it has the most. And it is also that signature aroma and flavor that most people associate with vanilla. When they think that I've got to run out and get vanilla, this, if you smell that, you go, wow, that's the vanilla. That's vanilla. Then Tahitian has less vanillin flavor, but it has that floral little smell to it and flavor. The Mexican has half the vanillin than the other beans, but has that smoky, fruity flavor. And so you can mix and match these. These are all real make extracts, and to get the flavor you want. Now we're going to talk about grade because they come in two grades. They come in grade A and they come in grade B. I use grade B because grade B is made for extracts. I heard one lady say, it was really kind of comical to me. She goes, y'all know I'm up class. I got to use grade A when I make my vanilla. Well, grade A is called the gourmet or the prime vanilla bean. But what it is, it has more moisture content in it. Yes, you can make extract out of it, but just know it's not going to be strong because it's more diluted. So there's many types from many different places in grade A and B. If you asked me what I would use in my vanilla extract, I would say Madagascar grade B. I laugh though because I asked my husband to get me some Madagascar, and I thought I had clicked on grade B, but when I got these and I started messing with them yesterday, they're actually grade A, and so I was laughing about that. But once again, you can use them to make extract. They're just have more moisture in them, so it's all good. Alcohol. So the two ingredients for making extract is the vanilla bean and alcohol. You can make vanilla out of vodka, rum, bourbon, brandy. All of those will make really great vanilla extract. The most common, make sure it's 80 proof. It needs to be 80 proof because it's working to get the flavoring and out of that vanilla bean. The most common is vodka, and it's chosen because it's odorless and tasteless. At least good vodka is odorless and tasteless, I'm assuming. With all of this that I make, I don't drink hard liquors. I don't really drink wine and beer. I'll drink beer if my husband makes it. He brews. I'll drink some of his mead if it's sweet. I'll drink Moscato, sweet wine. I'm a sweet girl. I don't do anything dry. So I don't drink a lot of liquor. So when I go in to buy liquor for any of my stuff, wine, beer, or hard liquor, I always go middle range. If you do a lot of research on YouTube from people who make homemade extracts, you will find that a lot of them say buy the cheapest liquor, buy rock gut liquor, alcohol, vodka, and make it because it doesn't really matter because at the end you're just getting vanilla. And yeah, that's kind of true. But I have this motto: if I won't drink it, I'm not going to cook with it. And I have tasted nasty vodka. One of my sons likes White Russians, and he buys some, when he's broke, he buys cheap vodka, and when he's not broke, he buys a little bit better vodka. So I've tasted the difference, and I really don't like the cheap vodka. It was really harsh, and it was no good. Didn't care for the other vodka either because I'm not a drinker, but it was at least a little bit better. So I tell people, get that middle shelf. Get that middle range, that price. I have a specs in Killeen that I shop when I go in my liquor, and there's a gentleman there named James who's so very helpful to me all the time. And I'll tell him, this is what I'm making, and this is what I'm looking for, and he'll go price range, and I'll say, I don't want the cheapest, and I don't want the most expensive. I don't want mid-range. And he always helps me. He helped me pick these two out right here the last time I was in there. So don't go with the cheapest. If your budget doesn't allow you anything more, if you want to spend all the extra money you have to make vanilla on the vanilla beans, by all means do it. It's going to make you vanilla, and you're going to be happy with your vanilla. But when you can, upgrade your vanilla a little bit. See if it makes a difference. It might not, but it might. Test it out. You can achieve other flavors using other liquor, and that's why a lot of people choose only vodka, and they're like, I don't want any other flavor in my baked goods other than pure vanilla, and that's okay. But if you used a rum, like I have rum right here, and this is a very funny rum to me because when I was in there, I don't know if you can see it, it's Captain Morgan, but it's gingerbread spiced rum. I thought that I bought this because I make a fruitcake for Christmas. And I start, of course, a few months ahead of time to get it soaked up in the liquor that it needs to be soaked up in. And I was thinking, wow, if I had spiced rum and I made an extract out of spiced rum, that might give that fruitcake a little boost of flavor, a little spice that might be a little bit different. So I chose that because he helped me out. He was very good. And this is a bourbon that he helped me choose out. He said it's a Texas bourbon, which kind of makes me happy being a Texas girl. And it's very middle ranged. And for bourbons, I guess it's okay. I don't like bourbon, and I sure don't like the smell of it. So anyway, is it worth it? It's worth it. We decided that. And now we're going to talk about my rotation. Now, I've already showed you Mother Jugs. I want to make sure I did not miss something before I get back to the. Nope, I didn't miss it. Okay, I'm just talking fast. It seems like it's going fast today. All right, so meet Mother Jugs. This is her. I'm going to shake her up a little bit. And if you shake her a little harder, maybe you can see the little specks flying around in there. I don't know if you will be able to see the specks. It looks a little dirty. Okay, like I said, since 2016, Mother Jugs has been going. So you can see in here, this one, I'll talk about her in a minute. Her beans are long. I didn't trim them. I normally trim them. I don't know why, actually, that I did not trim those. Because like I added a bean to her and I trimmed hers. But if you see, they'll stand up, they're straight, but they slowly just kind of disintegrate and go down and down. So yes, it's perpetual. It keeps going. You can keep adding liquor to it, but I would suggest adding some beans to it. So let me talk about my rotation. I have Mother Jugs. Only thing she ever does is just sit in the pantry and do her thing. Turn it this way. That's all she ever does. And in my cabinet that I actually have my baking goods in, I have her two daughters, where one I'm using out of this one. You can see that she's not quite full. So I have one that I'm using out of, and I have her sister sitting in the back cabinet. But she's also got a vanilla bean. So she came out of Mother Jugs, who's already ready to go. I filled her up, put another vanilla bean in her, and set her. So she's going to sit in the back of that cabinet until I use all of her sister. Then I will refill her sister up. She'll come to the forefront. I'll start using her. This one gets filled from Mother Jugs and gets set in the back. So she's waiting with the vanilla beans, still developing flavor while she sits there. Some people take their vanilla beans out. I don't. I think that you just keep extracting it until it dissolves. That's my thing. And so I'm always got one in usage. This one's in usage, and this one is behind until this one runs out, and then I switch them. I refill her up out of Mother Jug here, and she's got the vanilla beans, so they're still going to sit in there maybe 6 months. I mean, it might take me about 6 months to go through a thing of vanilla when I'm really baking, especially. So I'll take stuff out of Mother Jugs. I'll fill her up. Then I fill Mother Jugs back up with this is vodka. So I fill Mother Jugs back up with vodka, and I throw another bean in there. And she sits back in the cabinet until I need her to fill up one of her daughters. And then I take her back out and I repeat the process. If this vanilla beans don't look like they're disintegrated, then and I haven't ordered them and I'm not ready, I won't put one in. If I have them, like today, I'm going to add beans to some of these, then I will. So that's kind of my rotation. That's what I do. Mother Jugs just sits up there filling up the daughters. I use the daughters, and it really is a good vanilla. I love it. I really like it. It's vodka, and I like it. So how do I do it? How do you do it? First off, you need, of course, a jar. And this is just a pickle jar. I'm not making one today because I don't have any extra liquor that I want to use on it right now. But I ordered beans to add to my other ones. So you'll get the sense of what we're doing. So you need a jar. You need vanilla beans. You can order these off Amazon and they come really quick and they're really good beans. And you get a choice. You can type in Tahitian, Indonesian, Madagascar, grade A, grade B, and it'll pop right up to what you're looking for. And you can buy, I believe 5 is the lowest, and then on up to a lot of money. I think I put in a pound the other day just to see, and it was like $233. So it's a lot of money to put out. So you get a jar, you clean it. Now you got your bean, and this is where you get a lot of different opinions also. I had only one person that I watched said she puts the beans in whole. She said that she spoke to a bean expert and he said there's no need to cut it or slice it or anything like that, just put it in whole. Which I can see that because I've seen how it tears it down, it deteriorates. However, it takes a little bit to get to the beans on the inside, so you don't have to cut them. You can put them in whole. You can slice them, pull out some of the beans and put it in your liquid, or you can just slice them and put them in your jar. I don't usually scrape out the beans because every time you scrape out the bean, there's bean left on your cutting board. And to me, that's just a waste. As expensive as they are, that's just a waste. So when I do it, I kind of flatten it down. Let me see right here. I take it and I flatten it down just to make it easier to cut is all that is. And then let me flatten this side. Then I just cut it right down the middle. I split. And there it is. It is split. You don't have to cut it all the way through. There's the bean. It is split. It smells wonderful. You really are not going to be able to see that it's even split. But I'm going to put it into one of my beans. Now, if I put her in like that, I'm going to have to bend her or cut her. If I cut her, it even opens up more area for the liquor to get into, more space than on that bean. So I'm going to, oh Lordy bean. All right, there she goes. This is the Gingerbread Spiced Rum. So what you would do is you would take your bean, you put it in your jar, you would take your liquor and you would pour it till it was full. You would cap it, and right on there I wrote Gingerbread Spiced Rum, started June 22nd, 2020. And so it's been since the 22nd. It smells really spicy. See what this smells like. Okay. I can smell a little bit more vanilla in it, but this smells really gingerbready, really spicy. So it's got a ways to go. And then I close it back up. She needs to go into a dark space. You kind of shake her. I don't have my lid on really good, so I'm not going to shake her. You shake her up, and that's just going to get those beans out of that pot. Going to keep her aerated, get her going good. And that is all you do to make vanilla extract. It is so simple. It is so easy. How long do you let it sit in there? That's another question. How long do I let this sit before I have vanilla? And like every recipe that has so many different things on there, you're going to get a ton of different answers on this too. Some people say 4 to 6 weeks. You can use it at 4, but it's not going to be as strong as it is at 6. Some people say 6 months. Some people say a year. Some people say don't use it until for 2 years. So there is no definite state to say when it's going to be ready, because there's variables in here. Your variable is your alcohol. Your variable is your bean. So I don't think that we can say 4 weeks this is going to be ready. I think what I would rather say and tell people is smell it. And when it smells, especially if you got the vodka one, If it smells like vodka still, or it doesn't smell vanilla, it's not ready. I can take these, I'll take this one. She's not as cool. I can pop her open and she smells like vanilla. She does not smell like vodka at all. So I would say put it in there, shake it up. When you first do it, shake it up every day. Just shake it because it's you need to get the beans out of there and such and get it where there's more surface contact for the liquor to get to there. Shake it up for a good couple of weeks every day. And that's if you want to. Shake it up once a month if you want to. Whatever. It's so easy. And it's all about you and your time and what you can do. I don't want you to think that I say shake it every day and then, oh, I can't make it because there's no way I can shake it every day. Take it in your schedule. Do you. So I'm not going to put a time limit in. I'm going to say smell it. Because these that I made just recently, from the 22nd, this is the bourbon one. Oh, and I don't like the smell of bourbon at all. Oh, and it is all bourbon, all bourbon. So that's going to be a while. I don't even like the smell of that. So that is my talk on vanilla extract, a little bit of the history. Should you do it? Should you not do it? Well, it's all up to you. If you are going to be baking for a good long time, like I bake a lot, then it is definitely worth not going to the store because 8 ounces is not very much. I mean, this is more than 8 ounces, and I go through that. So 8 ounces is not very much. If you bake a lot, you're going to be going through and buying and buying and buying. But if you make your own, then the cost goes down. So to me, it's worth it. I hope it's worth it to you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll do the best to answer them. I'm no expert at all. I've just done it for a while and then decided I would do this when I wanted to see if there was if it actually, the vodka was really any better than rum or bourbon, because a lot of people, they are sold on vodka is it, and there are some people that sold on rum is it, and there are some people that sold on bourbon is it. And that is the only way to get really good vanilla is by those liquors. So that's what stemmed all this, was like, is there really that big of a difference? I don't know. I did think though, you know, the Mexican bean, it has that smoky flavor, and it kind of reminds me of the chipotle, but that bean has a smoky flavor. What if you got a bourbon or something that had also that smoky flavor to it, and then made a chocolate chip cookie where you brown the butter and you use that vanilla? I just think that would just be an awesome flavor combination, and I'm definitely going to try that. I don't have a Mexican bean, but it might be one of my next purchases. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I didn't talk too fast. I hope I covered everything. And like I said, if you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you back whenever I get my next idea. Bye.